Welcome back, Dr. Ami. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you, Dr. Jummy. How are you too?
Doing well. We've been talking about goal setting, which I found very impressive that you had learned so much in your own journey regarding goal setting and how it helped hold you accountable.
Like we were saying yesterday, doctors generally are not used to the concept of goal setting. I remember when we started intentionally doing it in the IM, and then we came with the accountability workbook. To be honest, I was like, goal setting. Okay, what is this about? Because I would say it was probably my first time actively setting goals. At the time, I was hearing on social media, a lot of people would come there around this time of the year to say, well, set goals for the next year. These are things to do to keep on top of your goals. If you want to achieve your goals and they get results, these are things that you should do. But now bringing it into the medical space, into a setting where you're talking to people who, like you said, already have their lives planned out for them. They're not used to this whole idea of someone saying you have to set goals for fitness, you have to set goals for diet, you have to set goals for your relationship. So it was alien, to be honest. It was alien. But for me, I realized that when I started doing it intentionally, I started seeing results. Just off the back of that, I was speaking to a friend 2 days ago, and I was like, I've met my relationship goal with you for this year. Because normally I would get together with them every year. That was my relationship goal. And I only started doing that after I started using the workbook. So it's just proof that it works.
I really wish that there can be more discussions around this for many of us doctors. One of the things I remember as a young medical student was looking up to the female consultants that we had, and many of them didn't look like the future I desired for myself. Of course, they had academic profiles that were very impressive. They always had to travel for conferences, and they had the respect, the office and the driver. They wore the nice skirts. They were always tired, always busy. And looking back, I have sympathy for them because I am kind of in that. I have to figure out family and kids and my health, and then figure out patient care and then the academics of medicine. But I realized many of them now retired, and I hear them say, I was a doctor. I was actually a dermatologist, or I was actually an endocrinologist. And these are women in their 60s. I still feel like they're in prime, but because there was nothing they actively planned or looked forward to, it was just this same, as I said, intentionality that the medical system has provided for us to work for them based on their own timetable and doesn't give us for our own planning. And if we are given any opportunity to plan, we only plan for study and passing exams or traveling for conferences. So in the workbook, I tried to make sure I expanded the goal setting to include every other thing. And hearing you say that even a goal for friendship, that is so impressive. That there's actually a goal for friendship and relationship. There's a goal setting for your lifestyle and travel. I put in wellness. Many doctors don't even go for wellness screen. They don't even remember we have a wellness screen needed until we have a health care. Yeah, there's so much we are missing out from because we have been spoon-fed in the goal setting idea that it's already all done for us.
Absolutely. And I remember you even added mental goals, what you would want to do to improve your mental health, which is very important. In self-care, I remember when I first started using the workbook, I would see the dentist, go to the optician. And these are things that, and I would put it in queues. I'll be like, queue to ensure you see the dentist. And then I would put it in my calendar, like at this time I should have seen the dentist. And it would just work, because if you don't plan, like what they say, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. There's no way you would achieve anything if you don't put those plans in place. Someone once said that your calendar is your most powerful tool.
I mean, this is so impressive. I really hope that many people listening to this podcast episode will take action, because as we say, there's one thing to plan, but there's another thing to take action. Without action, you can't have the result you desire. And I think that's the next thing. We talked about being accountable, having somebody hold you accountable for goals. And then when you are held accountable, it moves to taking, like what you just said.
It should just be another podcast episode where we talk about actually taking action.
I said that we discuss about taking action. I would also like to talk about accountability. It's so important. And I saw our lives will be so richer if we can be humble Because most of the people that advocate for goal setting are not medical doctors. So there's already, so I used to get the A's and the 90s and 100s in school, and you want to teach me how to succeed. Seriously, that arrogance in itself can also be a problem, because who's talking about goal setting for doctors?
Before I joined the IM, I've never heard anyone talk about goal setting for doctors. Like I said, we had a lot of consultants then back then, but there was really no one dedicated to mentoring young doctors, not talk of helping you plan your life in that sense and hoping that you will take action. Absolutely. And like you said, we doctors sometimes think we are too smart to take advice from other people. Everything that we need for life, and then we don't really need to, learn from these other people who are actually living life, the same life that we're living. The only thing that makes a difference for us is that we are doctors. We went to school and studied medicine.
Yeah.
The wisdom is universal. Your young doctor listening to this podcast should take away just learning to be teachable, as long as whatever lesson you're learning is valuable to you and your life.
And that was the biggest thing for me when I decided to change my life completely, because I saw the direction was going to be study, academia, study. I become a big name in academia. And that was all. Even though I knew there was so much more in me, I decided that for me, taking action was to go learn. And I did try to find doctors to teach me. That was where I actually started my journey. And if I tell you that I tried, I didn't find. The few I found were abroad-based organizations who we spoke differently. The way we think, obviously, I schooled in Nigeria. I'm Nigerian trained. They didn't think that way, because right from earlier on in life, there's a structure in place in the society that they live in that makes them more accountable, makes them appreciate mentoring, makes them desire for more, helps them integrate in society. And I was really alien to all that. I couldn't fit in. And so I decided to humble myself and go into spaces that offered training, but were not very friendly to doctors. I literally used to have them tell me, "What are you looking for here? Are you not a doctor?" And so doctors also need this. It was more like to discourage me or prevent me from really coming, but I knew what I needed. So I made sure I went for these meetings and these trainings, got all the different learnings and knowledge I needed, and created it into a nice bouquet that was unique to our Nigerian female doctor. And obviously it can be generalized to doctors that are also African in origin or have our kind of unique training and experience. And so there was a humility for me to get all this experience and knowledge, and to also be willing to be corrected, be willing to serve, because sometimes it's in the place of serving that you actually can understudy some of these great leaders. And so I had to serve them, volunteer, do so many things. In fact, at some point, they'll be like, "We're so sorry we asked you to do this. We didn't know you were a doctor." And I'll be like, "Does doctor have to do with this? I beg, please teach me." But that was how much they respect the doctor, that if they had known I was a doctor, they won't give me those roles. And so I didn't come in like, "Oh, I'm doctor this." I just came in as I'm Jumoke, and I was mentoring in this area. And so I was able to get all the experience. And I'm still on that journey as well. So that I can become better. And of course, as you've testified, that's the workbook that you guys are using now, and we obviously have been seeing the difference.
What I heard from what you said is living in those places, learning the ropes, just understanding how people outside of medicine think, and what wisdom you can bring into the medical space to say, "Guys, this is it. I know this is what you're used to. This is life too." And you can also learn from all of this wisdom and live a wholesome life. It's amazing, to be honest. It is amazing. It will shock you, the impact of what you've done, how tremendous that impact is. For those of us who are practicing, who are living the life and walking the talk, it will shock you how tremendous the impact is, to be honest. It helps you live a fulfilling life. You just feel fulfilled all around. Because from my own experience, just doing medicine, going to work, come back, I don't know how people do that. I really didn't want that to be my life. I see my life way past medicine. Like, there's more to me than the arena, than God. And I'm so glad that I have this mindset. I am so glad. And it's all because I'm in the community. I've got this mentoring. Like, there's just so much.
Amazing what you said just now. Sadly, people still don't know. My life is much more richer than work. Well, you need to enrich your life. As we said yesterday, enriching our lives starts with thinking about what other aspects of your life make you tick. Then if you don't think you are manifesting these aspects of your life that are important, have you considered mentoring, where you can actually create, as we said yesterday, goals to manifest these things and working towards them, and then having a community that affirms that it's okay to think outside the box and do much more than medicine. What I'm trying to say is that for those that want much more to medicine, it's out there for you. You just have to log in. You need to be humble enough to immerse in the whole experience. And like you said, scheduling goal setting for relationships and friendships, scheduling goal setting for wellness, even mental health. That's how comprehensive and holistic this journey is. And that's why I call it the journey to excellence in medicine. Because at the end of the day, you excel. Absolutely. Have an amazing discussion regarding goal setting. So if any doctor needs accountability or needs to understand what is even this goal setting thing, this is an opportunity to invite you to the community. It's an amazing exclusive community where doctors like you are and from your empowerment, you're able to go out there and make impact.
Thank you for listening to this podcast. We'll see you in the next one.